second. We want to make sure we keep put this stuff up in here because and we don't know if this gonna go on the actual class or not, but you know, it's always good for y'all to understand why we saying what we're saying. The people wonder why it is that even though, you know, by now all these many months and years we've been doing this thing, why we've been making specific pronouncements about that dictionary and about those encyclopedias and Wikipedia and all that other stuff. And we have shown, you know, we always bring out Isaiah, what it's 34:16 or whatever.
Yes.
To show them that the Most High say you ain't supposed to make the Bible with any book. They have a different doctrine. We've showed them. We got a video about how the video can cloud your understanding. Elder Yohanan used the word meek last week, and he brought up what meek means in the dictionary versus what it means in the Bible. All right, it's two totally different understandings. But the very reason why they cannot go without using that dictionary is prophesied in the Bible. All right. So the difference between us and the next guy is we always show you where what's going on now is also happening. It's prophesied that it would happen in the Bible. All right. Because I know it was whenever it started talking about they ended up with those taskmasters.
Oh yeah, go to Exodus. Let's go to 1 and start at 5. We start at 5. Exodus 1 and 5. We'll read down to 12.
Okay.
Christ said the same thing, basically the same thing what we're talking about right now, and we'll bring that up too.
Yes.
It's written a certain way that if you don't know spiritual interpretation, that's why what's confounded them. They don't know it, but y'all gonna see it because I'm gonna bring it out so y'all can see it. Because the thing is, you got to hold on to Christ's hand to see this. You got to hold on to, and they're gonna call you pretty soon. It's gonna be a mighty, mighty earthquake like never before. They coming to you. I'm telling you, they're coming to you.
Yes.
They're coming to you.
Yes. So we're gonna start reading down, and you gonna see the prophecy of them using other means, right? Instead of them changing, they're gonna try and keep the same doctrine. You read it before, but you never knew what it meant. And Elder Samuel gonna break it down for you right quick. We're gonna start at Exodus chapter 1 verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were
the loins is mine. 1 Peter 1:13.
Was 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already. Okay. Verse 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation.
Hold on, Elder. Hold on. Go back.
That's a lot of breakdown right there.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Can we go back to that loins? We got to bring it up.
That's a lot of breakdown.
Because I seen a certain bishop come out yesterday and said that Israel was coming out of the loins, the fruit of the loins of David. And he's sitting there and saying it was seed. So what is the Lord? When he's talking about the loins, people need to see this to back up these lies that they keep hearing. So what is the actual loins? So let's go to 1 Peter 1:13. I'm sorry to back it up a little bit, but I saw this lie yesterday and I got it correct.
Remember, he's building a spiritual house. Always think spiritual. He's not looking at the color of no skin. He ain't looking like at the carnal blood type. He ain't looking for that. He ain't looking for that.
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
You know, Nathaniel, that the loins is talking about your thoughts. You know that. Stop lying to the people and telling them that it's carnal man's under region. Come on, man. Read.
Be sober and hope to the end of the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ.
All right, let me get Ephesians 6:14. Another one for loins.
You know, it's a spiritual law called grace too. They have to honor that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We heard another brother say that grace and mercy is free, but the work we got to do costs money.
You talking about the bag man.
Bag man. I wish
Ephesians 6:14.
Uh-huh.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
With the law, so your mind.
Yep, that's the law. Mm-hmm. And having on the breastplate of righteousness.
Righteousness. So that's showing you that's two right there for the loins.
Yes. Absolutely.
Go to John 1:16.
Yeah.
For that grace.
Mm-hmm.
John 1:16. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace.
17. Yeah.
For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ.
Grace and truth.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all Christ dealt. Christ dealt with the spiritual interpretation all the time.
Yes.
That's what he's talking about.
Yes.
That's the only thing he dealt with, the spiritual interpretation. He didn't care about that carnal mess.
Right.
He want the spiritual interpretation.
Yes.
Where you were, Elder.
Back to this original. I just wanted to bring out the loins. I just heard that yesterday.
We're going back to
Exodus.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob.
That teaching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the people he taught. That's right. His doctrine was 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already.
Okay. Now go to Genesis 35:10 to back up what Elder King Yohanan was saying about the loins again. And what God told Jacob to do.
And this again, before we even read it, just so y'all know, ain't no typos in this.
You're right.
All right. Names changing means something. I don't know that man don't know. He's sitting there trying to cover for the fact that we starting to teach something that he should have told y'all a long time ago.
And you know,
he got to come up with an excuse for why he didn't know this.
Right. And you know what's funny? Each one of his members of his leadership always say, Bishop Nathaniel says. Bishop Nathaniel says.
Yes.
Right.
Bishop Nathaniel says. Well, Bishop Nathaniel says, what does God say?
Right.
Yes. And you know what, Elder? What else he's saying? He think that they're not going to be punished for it when they see it, but they'll put it on Nathaniel.
Right.
You're going to be punished for it too.
So the law that they're talking about is like, okay, the number may say something here and it may change here, right? And because of that, he said, was it Psalms 19:7? The law is perfect, so just worry about that. Don't worry about nothing else.
But this is a law, though. Because that law,
that's what I'm saying.
Law. When names change, because it's a law. What is it? It's in Isaiah, where it's talking about subscribe your name.
I think 44.
All right. Stop. Before we get into that, what is the name? Let's go to what is the name. So maybe we can slow it down for the people. So you guys won't get caught up into what we're talking about because they don't understand what these names are in the Bible.
Name is the word of God.
Word of God.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What precept you want, prophetess?
Well, we have a couple. We can go to Joel 2:32.
I knew she was gonna come with a couple of them. She's been busting them up for a minute now.
Right.
Yeah.
So So we're gonna prove it. We're gonna get the precept, and I'm gonna show you an example of what we're talking about. That the names are.
You said Job what?
Job 2 and 32, please.
2 and what? Wait a minute. Job 2 and
32.
32.
Job 32.
No, Joel.
Joel. Okay,
Joel,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry,
gotcha.
the accent is.
Sorry, my accent.
No, you're doing wonderful.
No, you're doing good, Robert.
Yeah, you
yes. Keep up the good work.
Our ears are dull of hearing sometimes.
Yeah, that's all right. We wanted to sound like a Benetton commercial up in here. That's right. We international.
Right.
Joel 2 and 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. So if you was to read that carnally, you would think just saying, because I used to be Pentecostal. They call it holiness.
Right.
And what they'll do, they'll get you, you'll be up in there and they'll get you they call it tarrying.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit there at the altar and you just keep saying, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Jesus, 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 and call on Jesus until he give you the Holy Ghost. All right, that's the process. That's I was in the Church of God in Christ. That's their process. All right. So, but the thing is, just calling on the name of the Lord don't deliver you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that? So the name means something else, right? For in Mount Zion, that's the spiritual nation, and in Jerusalem was Jerusalem.
Spiritual.
That's the spiritual doctrine, right?
The spiritual doctrine.
Shall be deliverance. So it just said, if you understand the spiritual doctrine, that's the deliverance. Not calling on Jesus, 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 but learning the spiritual doctrine. Y'all see that? As the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. The remnant is going to be a small amount of people who going to actually seek that spiritual doctrine. They're not going to be distracted by these lying carnal men. All right.
And they're going to stay focused on this doctrine. That's
yes.
They're going to stay focused on this doctrine.
The remnant is from Psalm 55 or not?
You say that again, Elder?
The saints are the remnant.
Yes.
Yes.
What precept you pull?
Psalm 50 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the saints. Hold on, we'll get it. Yeah, we ain't running from nothing. The only way the people gonna understand is whenever y'all start getting confident enough to get up in here and tell them what this stuff means. Y'all know what it means.
Yep.
Y'all already know what it means. Just get up in there and tell them people, because pretty soon them people gonna be convinced that them thugs over there don't have the word. Psalms chapter 50 verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me. So the gathering is to Christ. It ain't talking about go to church.
That's your holy convocation right there.
Right.
Yes.
Gather my saints unto me.
He said unto him.
Not Nathaniel. Right. Nathaniel.
Those that have made a covenant with me. Yes. Right. By sacrifice.
By teaching. By teaching.
Yes, they sacrificing. What else are they sacrificing? Who they killing? Who are they killing?
That person.
That carnal.
That's right. There you go, Contessa.
All praise.
The carnal man. They're killing the carnal man.
Hey, go to it, Elder.
Romans 12:1.
They keep thinking about an animal, a four-legged animal. Brother, leave that animal alone. The animal, you want the animal to take your place and go to the kingdom?
Right. That's right.
You, that beast inside of you.
Yes.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Right.
So the saints are the people who sacrifice the old man. It's in Romans 6:2. Sacrifice meaning you getting rid of that carnal foolishness and you following the doctrine of Christ. That's whenever it's talking about sacrificing. Those are the saints.
And what's the one with the spiritual stones? Also that one. This is Peter.
Okay.
The first Peter, second Peter, the one with spiritual stones.
First Peter 2 and 5.
That's it.
That's
That's
the
also the
spiritual
same.
house.
Yeah. I'll get it right quick.
Stay on the
Elder?
spiritual side.
Yes.
Sorry, and when you're finished, if there was any doubt about name, I have a better one.
Yeah, we going to it. That's right. Don't be afraid to
Prophet.
stand up in there and get this information. These people need
Prophet
to
is
know.
on it, boy.
Yes, you on it.
Yes.
I'm so proud of that girl, man. I'm telling you. See that Bill? Because you know she real diminutive and all that other stuff. She got a strong voice.
Yes.
That's what I'm
There is a
talking about.
doctor called Sharon. I think you know that now.
Yeah, I just learned about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that doctor was so good, bro. She's graceful. That's
Yes.
a graceful doctor.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Jesus Christ.
Now, what that got to do with an animal?
Nothing.
You want to
Nothing.
take his soul?
Not a thing.
It ain't got nothing to do with it.
Not
So
a thing.
Ecclesiastes 3:18. Let's get that one, Elder, if you don't mind, because the viewers got to know this. This the person that everybody fight every day. Everybody. Christ went through it.
And we are the lively stones, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
I should
That's
say
right.
Jesus went through it. Yeah, Jesus went through it.
Yeah. Whenever it's talking about life, okay, that's a doctrine. Okay. We lively stones. So that means we remember Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
Light.
Right.
And the light.
That
Also,
life.
God blew the breath of life into the nostrils of Adam.
Right. So
Okay.
that's the spiritual doctrine. Okay. Christ is the life. Right.
Okay.
So if you a lively stone, a stone is a doctrine. You got the lively doctrine.
Yes.
I mean, you speak the
yes.
high speech. You got the
Yes.
spiritual doctrine. That's what that's talking about. All right.
Okay.
So that lively stone that they talking about is the spiritual doctrine, a spiritual house. That's what we are.
Yes.
All right. You want to go
And
to?
I'm gonna tell you something. When y'all pull up
18,
this what messed them up every time over there at IUIC and anywhere else. Do not frame a doctrine. When you put a precept out of somewhere, read that whole chapter, what that precept is talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
Got to get the context.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't frame a doctrine, and that's their problem. They know that now.
Yes.
Yes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 18. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men.
Sons of men, not sons of God, sons of men. They're following men. Carnal interpretation. They following men.
Right, because the Father is your instructor.
Right.
So the Father is your instructor, the Son is the follower. That's the children of it.
Yes.
That God might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
Beast. Wow.
Hey, keep reading the next verse.
Yes. David had to see that. He saw that inside himself. He had to change. King David, he saw it.
Verse 19. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts.
Why? Because they teach hate.
Yeah.
So they keep that hate inside of you. That's that beast inside of you that wants you to hate your brother. Make you want to do evil to that brother or sister next to you. That's that beast inside you. See?
Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth another.
So as the one dieth, as dieth the other. Why? Because I'm teaching that hatred to somebody else. So if I got that doctrine of hate, then I turn around and teach it to you. Now you got that doctrine of hate.
Yea, they have all one breath.
One doctrine when that doctrine is hate. Yes, that doctrine is hate.
What's the precept for it? What's the precept for breath? He already gave you the one with Adam. What's another one?
Breath.
Ain't breath and wind the same thing?
A doctrine?
Yes, wind of doctrine. Where's that at?
That one?
Ephesians 4, right?
Yeah, 14.
4, 14.
14.
4 and
4
14.
and 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 and 14.
So whenever he's talking about breath, wind, air, all that stuff mean doctrine.
Doctrine.
All right. So that a man have no preeminence above beasts because of that doctrine that's being taught. The Most High see you as a beast.
Right. So you never have no preeminence. You're not exalted, as somebody was saying. You have no, you're nothing, you're on the same level as that carnal stuff. You just, that's where you are.
Correct.
That carnal hatred.
And I'm gonna explain something to you. God can talk.
Yeah.
I hear. He can talk. And I'm gonna tell you how he talked. He would tell a prophet because he said, "Go tell them what I said."
Right.
Because that prophet got that old man in him. Carnal and spiritual.
He speak that
God
language.
ain't gonna bring the stuff down to carnal level.
No.
Right.
He will say, knucklehead, go tell them what I said.
Yes.
Don't dwell in carnal understanding.
It was so bad. He had to go get Cyrus. He wasn't even an Israelite. He had to go get Cyrus to go get them folks together. Man, let me get this Gentile to go over here and get these boys in order.
Yes, bro.
Right.
That's just how much the Most High hate that calm.
He hated.
Right. He keep explaining. He keep explaining if you keep going. But he said he have no preeminence above beasts, right? Didn't he say, didn't in Deuteronomy 7, that class of death of Johanna, we brought down Deuteronomy 7 and 5 and 6. It said you're above all nations. It says that you're not above the beast. So you're on the same level.
Right.
You're not risen above the beast. You're not above all nations.
Right. Right. Because the beast don't have no understanding. Okay.
He don't have it.
That's what I say. He ain't got no understanding. He calm.
He's not gonna give it to him, brother. He's not gonna give it to him. He's not gonna give it to him.
Right.
Like if you keep reading the 20, it tells you that the beast goes down to the earth and the spirit ascends, goes upward to what? Jerusalem, to a higher doctrine. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. Everybody know what the highway is now. At least
Right.
y'all should.
So one last one for the beast, Job 12 and 7. We'll go back to Exodus 1 and 5, I guess. We start there. It's crazy how this goes sometimes. Hey, which above is free.
You got to go through it. This is just part of it. This is just part of it. You got to go through this. The people won't know. This is, and you know, some of the people have been following us for a while and they understand what we're saying. But I advise anybody who just now figured out that the spiritual doctrine is the doctrine. Go back to some of those older videos that we have. It's a lot of basic understanding in those older videos. We at the point now where people rattling it off quick now. So, you know, there's no shame in going back to those older videos to get a basic understanding of what the Most High is saying.
Hey, start at verse 4. I got something. Start though. Most High just showed me something. Praise.
Job chapter 12, verse 4. I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon God.
Who calleth upon the name of God, meaning teach the word of God.
And he answereth him, just like the elder just said. And the just upright man is laughed to scorn.
How is that? When we sit out here and put out these classes and they get ignored, and they come on to the chat site and they start putting nonsense into the chat, it's laughing us to scorn.
Yes.
Making classes trying to defend against what we're saying instead of teaching correctly is laughing us to scorn, right?
Verse 5. He that is ready to slip with his feet.
Slip with his feet is doctrine. Slip in his doctrine. Ecclesiastes 5 and 1.
Is as a lamp.
As a lamp. Lamp is a light. Light is a law. Proverbs 6:23.
Despised in the thought of him. Thought is a doctrine.
Right.
Of him that is at ease.
So this lying prophet was doing this, right? Read.
The tabernacles of robbers prospers.
How? By collecting money from all those on IUIC TV. We're collecting money from alms from school. We're collecting tithes at these churches. Donate to the Booster Club. All this
Booster
stuff.
Club, yes. Booster Club.
Tabernacles of robbers, because you can't. Okay, if all these people giving all this money, where's the money going?
Right.
Because if you send in people on these little trips, it's like 5 or 6 people. So if you got 5 or 6 people staying a week, okay, maybe you may spend $5,000-$6,000, but what is the rest of the money?
Right.
And they taking a more in carnal understanding and taking them away from God.
Yeah.
And another thing, ask yourself, how many of those schools out there are actually bought?
One that I know of.
One.
They made a big deal of letting you know he bought that one where he at.
Right, and all the congregation paid for that.
Yes.
The congregation gave money to pay for the school in New York. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so all the rest of the schools are all rented. That sounds like a scam to me, bro.
Yes.
So it's quick to pull out. Like we could shut it down tomorrow. The people be just sitting there like, what the heck happened? But all your money is gone. And another thing, it said tabernacles of robbers prosper.
Yes.
If they put preaching that the entire world is about to be destroyed, correct? Why are you giving somebody else your money?
Right.
If the world's gonna be destroyed, why are you giving it to somebody else to spend? See, this is how you've been duped. The kingdom of heaven's on the earth, right? But they try to they just distract you and take your money and robbing you blind.
For your eyes.
John chapter 10, he's telling you about these robbers. So you know he ain't making this up. All right. This is what Christ was talking about. This in red. John 10:8. All that ever came before me. That's the people who was teaching before the spiritual doctrine came back.
Right.
All that came before me are thieves and robbers. He ain't talking only about these carnal Israelite camps. He talking about all of the different religions that came before the spiritual doctrine came back, purporting to speak for God. He says they're all thieves and robbers. That's what he said. They all
sold you a lie.
That's right.
They sold you a lie with the money.
Yes.
You probably bought their book, their video, whatever they said to do, you bought it. And it was all a lie.
Yeah. And we'll prove this up there, and I like to get back to Genesis.
We got you. Yes,
we go to Luke chapter 19 and verse 38. And I'm gonna show you, hold on to Christ's hymn, his doctrine. Because I'm gonna break it down, and I know the elders gonna see this. Now this is Christ gonna start talking in a little while.
Luke chapter 19 verse 38, saying, "Blessed be the King that cometh in the name of the Lord."
And that doctrine of the Lord.
Peace in heaven.
The one that's elevated.
So he's going to be teaching what?
Peace.
Yes.
Peace.
You see the difference? He's not teaching Cain. He's not teaching hate. He's teaching peace.
And glory in the highest.
Highest, the light of the highest, not the dark that's on the carnal. The highest. Read.
And some of the Pharisees from among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And he answered and said unto them.
Listen up very close. Because Christ, you know what? When you study his scriptures, he gets so deep.
Yes.
He gets very deep. Watch what he say.
I tell you that if these should hold their peace.
Stop.
Ooh.
He said, if they stop smiting you, because he's talking about them Pharisees, if they stop smiting you over and over and over and over with that carnal doctrine, with hatred, read.
The stones would immediately cry out.
Then they'll get out of their ear if they stop.
Right.
Because once they stop hearing that repeatedly, teaching is over. He said, then the stones would cry out. Them children would see to understand him, but they smite them over and over and over and blinded them over and over. Right. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Read on.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 41. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it. Saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace. But now they are hid from thine eyes.
Stop. That's the reason why. He teaching hate so much you can't even see what we're talking about. He keeps smiting them over and over, blinding them from the truth. Y'all see that?
Yes.
That's why they're making them videos like a flood.
Right.
You see that?
Yes.
Right.
They flooding the woman. The woman is the spiritual doctrine.
Right.
Yep. That's Revelation 12.
Verse 43.
43, okay.
Verse 43. For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee.
The same thing Elijah did.
Yes.
He built that wall.
Yes.
You see that? Read.
And compass thee round.
That's what about to happen. Read.
And keep thee in on every side.
On every
We're gonna corner them. We're gonna corner these thugs and they don't even see what we see. We're gonna build this trench.
And what does a trench do? A trench is dividing the earth, correct? So it splits in half. You know what I'm saying? Rightly divide that carnal stuff. We're gonna rightly divide that carnal understanding.
Yes.
Think about in medieval times. They used to build a trench around the castle. Then they put water in it.
That moat.
That moat. You see that? So it keeps something in, or it keeps something from out getting in. Y'all see that?
Yes.
That's what it's talking about. It's a protection.
In your mind.
It's a means by which you can compass something that they can't defeat you. They can't get out. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build a trench around them, and that doctrine that they got, it ain't gonna get out no more. Ain't nobody gonna believe that doctrine.
They ain't gonna. 44.
Verse 44. And shall lay thee even with the ground.
We're gonna go down to the brook with them. We're gonna break it down carnal interpretation like a novel. We're gonna break it down the way they break it down. Then we're gonna bring that spiritual interpretation. The same way Elder King Johanna, he'll take it down and he'll bring it. You know how to do that Jacob's ladder and take it right back up.
Don't say nothing about Jacob ladder. Somebody might pass out when they see this video. You talking about Jacob ladder? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And not children within thee. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another. Because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation.
You know why? That's what they're doing. Because they shall not leave thee one stone upon another. They asking them questions.
Yes.
Hey, I got a question about this. I got a question about this precept. I got a question about this precept. That is the one stone on another. They keep asking.
Yeah.
And because they knew it's not. They didn't know the doctrine.
They didn't know the doctrine. And check this out. 45 now? Or 46?
45.
Okay.
And he went into the temple and began to cast out them that sold therein.
See that? Buying and selling with them lies and stuff.
And them that bought. He wasn't turning over nobody's table.
Real quick, hit that Proverbs 23. Real quick, so they see what that buy and sold.
Yeah, bro.
Real quick and come right back to it.
He convinced they would convince the people with their doctrine. They bought into their doctrines. So he turned it over. If they stop smiting the people, you know they turn it up. They turn it up. They fire.
Turn it up.
Every time. Y'all notice that? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, brother, because he's gonna attack them all the way to their mind. You know, it's a shame when you turn on the video probably one day, he probably say yabba dabba do. They say, Bishop, yabba dabba do, I love you.
Yabba dabba do and drop a bomb on it. That's what he
I'm
gonna
trying
do.
to tell you, bro. Attack
Yes.
them all the way to their bosom.
Yes.
If it don't come true, come back and see them.
Right.
He's
Proverb.
gonna make them lose their mind.
Yes.
Mm.
Proverbs 23:23. Buy the truth and sell it not.
So if you sell the truth, that means you no longer have it.
Right.
Right.
Also wisdom and instruction and understanding.
Correct. You can go back to the other one, please, sir.
That's what Christ said. Sell what you have and follow me.
Right.
He
So
said, teach what you know
Mm-hmm.
and leave it at that,
Yeah.
and keep following me. You'll learn more.
right there.
Verse 46. Saying unto them, it is written, my house is the house of prayer,
Prayer.
but ye have made it a den of thieves.
Yes.
You see that?
Wow.
Yes.
They don't stole God's flock because
Right.
they teach carnally. People can
Right.
see that carnal. But
Right.
see, Christ got the Most High got a different voice.
Yes.
Right.
We hear that spiritual interpretation.
All right. We go back to that Job 12:6. And we're gonna go back to that Exodus 1:5. Got memories on it. Memories on today. We're dealing with the loins, and now we're dealing with the beast.
Job chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper,
Mm-hmm.
and they that provoke God are secure.
Secure how? That's what they think they secure.
Basically.
They think. Yes.
Into whose hand God bringeth abundantly.
That's why you think you secure, but now you in God's hands now. You
Yes,
in
sir.
God's doctrine. He's serving.
He's serving it now.
Would you say set up?
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
set up.
Malachi 3:15. Yep.
Mhm. Verse 7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee.
So a lion can't teach, an ox can't teach carnally.
Mhm.
So he's talking beasts are talking about prophets.
Okay.
Right.
And the fowls of the air,
Mm.
and they shall tell thee.
It's the same thing. Fowls of the air are prophets.
Yeah.
Prophets.
How they been manifested who they are now?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, huh?
Yes.
The spirit bears witness, don't it?
Yes.
Right.
Sure.
Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee.
Is it Psalms 85:11 for the earth? Somebody? Am I correct? Earth is understanding? You didn't got to go to it.
The carnal
It's the
understanding.
carnal. That's the carnal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee.
So those are all animals, but they're saying that the Bible says that they are prophets.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Because a fish can't declare nothing. All right. Fish can't declare nothing. All right.
So go back to
So let's
Exodus
go
1 and
back
5.
to Exodus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
right.
know.
Yeah, we went on
Went the long
away
way
from
around.
it, but and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob was
The
70
ones that been
souls.
taught.
Mhm.
The ones that been taught of Jacob.
For Joseph was in Egypt already.
Hey,
Mhm.
Elder. Yeah, continue, and I'll bring up something after this, but we need to get through this.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren.
He called them all his brother.
Mhm. And all that generation.
See, all them people
Mhm.
Mhm.
that came out of his mind of teaching.
Mhm. Right. People
Mhm.
that follow his doctrine. And the children of Israel were fruitful. And
Fruitful.
increased.
Isaiah 57:9, Jeremiah 17:10, and Matthew 3:8. Fruitful is the word.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
And increased abundantly.
Because he planted that seed. That seed
Right.
keep growing.
So them
That's-
people started bringing their understanding
Yes.
and spreading that understanding. That's
Chapter
what's
8, verse 11. That
Mhm.
seed.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And multiplied
Uh-huh.
and waxed exceeding mighty.
Mm-hmm.
And the land was filled with them.
So
With them.
with a whole lot of spiritual prophets.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Mm.
Correct.
Wow.
Now there rose up a new king over Egypt.
Mm-hmm. So now
So
it
now-
was a new prophet over the carnal understanding. He was a new leader of the carnal.
Yeah. Yes.
That did not know the spiritual understanding.
That's what that whenever it says which knew not Joseph, Joseph is the spiritual doctrine.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. We stopped. We went on about the name, right? Remind me to go back about this name to finish that name. Because we said knew not Joseph. See, the issue was they still look at Joseph and they still look at him as a carnal man.
Yes.
That's the reason why I was trying to. All right, so give me something. Stop right here. I had to pause before we come back to this. Let's go to Genesis 10:1 for a second. Let me show you something.
There you go. And after that, go to Genesis 49. And
let me show you an example of what we said, the name, because we made emphasis on the name as the word of God. These names are doctrines. I'm going to prove that.
Joseph got the doctrine. He had the doctrine.
Right. So I'm going to deal with Japheth's doctrine, with the doctrine of Japheth, right?
Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah.
So generations is doctrines, the bloodline. That means his doctrine line of the sons, the followers of Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
What is it? 2 Ezra 3 and 7 tell you that generations mean doctrines.
Yes.
Yeah.
If not, look at the bottom. I got them at the bottom for you.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood.
The flood is water, so it's a flood of understanding that hit the world. Right?
Yes.
So there were these are now followers after that flood hit the world, right?
And the sons of Japheth,
the followers of Japheth,
Gomer, and Magog, and Medea, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach.
And Meshach. Okay, taking a long way. So we're gonna cut it for time's sake. Let's go to Ezekiel 38:2. So let's find out. Those are all names, correct? Y'all read these names, right? So he told the prophecy. Let me show you what he said.
Ezekiel 38:2. Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach,
right,
and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
And do what against him?
Prophesy against him.
So prophesy means to teach against these doctrines, these different lands, God, Magog, Meshach, Tubal. He said prophesy against them. Read next verse.
And say, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
So these are all doctrines. He said to prophesy against those followers of Japheth, because those are all doctrines. There's the generation line, the sons. He said prophesy against those sons. That's what he's talking about. So now we'll go back to Exodus.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Genesis 49 and 23. Now he's talking about they didn't know Joseph's doctrine. That man knew about a carnal man. He didn't know Joseph's doctrine. We
think about it.
You know, the first president.
Elder, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if somebody did something that great, you would have known, like, you still speak about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you still speak about these people. So they would have known who Joseph was.
Yeah, they even know George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, this and that. They didn't know that doctrine.
Genesis 49:23.
Now we're talking about Joseph's doctrine right here.
The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him.
Don't everybody hate you?
Yes.
But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob.
See, the doctrine. He learned from Jacob these doctrines.
From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel.
So
Talking about
he
Joseph.
got the rock.
Talking
see
about
that?
Joseph.
Let's back that up.
Joseph.
We're going to Hebrews 11:21 and 22.
Hey, I'm sorry, El. Go back up to 22. I'm sorry, El.
Yeah, you missed
Go back
it on. It was on 22.
Yeah, it's
That's
on
where
22.
it said that it was talking
Yeah.
about Joseph.
All right, yeah.
Joseph is a fruitful bow,
See?
even a fruitful bow by a well.
He been taught.
And a bow, it's a branch. Okay, a branch is a tree. That's a prophet.
Yes.
That's a prophet, yeah.
Fruit is the word.
Whose branches run over the wall.
That doctrine would go past
That's
any other
everything.
doctrine wall.
That's
Yeah.
Jerusalem. That's
Whatever
Jerusalem.
doctrine they build up,
Yes.
this man's doctrine would
Was
dominate
strong.
any doctrine.
Strong.
Y'all see that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever
And that's
wall they
why-
put up. Mhm.
That's why it said here, from thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. He talking about Joseph is the rock.
He's the
Right.
rock.
That's
Right.
why he's Christ's father.
Right.
Yeah.
Try that, Hebrews 11:21. 22. Back up what you're saying.
And that's why they took his bones
Yes.
out of Egypt with them. That's why
Yeah.
Moses did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
His bones.
My
his
word.
Doctrine,
That's
right?
Mhm.
Ain't no man digging up no bones been buried.
Right. So how they go get in one of them pyramids to get the bones?
Right.
They took his words up out of there, his doctrine. Yeah.
Right. Hebrews 11:21. By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both sons of Joseph and worshipped.
And what?
Worshipped.
Worshipped.
Leaning upon the top of his staff.
The top of his staff. So the top of
Yeah.
his staff. Staff's part of wood. Wood is a tree. Tree is a prop. His doctrine.
That's
That's
right.
the doctrine. Yep. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel and gave commandment concerning his bones.
Commandment concerning his
Yes.
bones. Okay, check this how the Most High God taught. Okay, the bones are the prophets. The flesh is the doctrine. You get it? The tree is the
And that's the
prophet.
prophet.
The fruit is his
And the
word.
word.
That's how he talks. The man is the prophet. The woman is his
This is the
doctrine.
Doctrine. Wow.
That's how he talks.
That's how he thought. That's how he rolled. Go to
About your Exodus.
Jeremiah. Huh?
No,
You
go
about
ahead,
to
sir.
bring
Go,
that up,
sir.
El?
No. Go ahead. I just want to show what that back
go
up what
ahead,
you're
El.
saying
Go
about.
ahead.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Go to Jeremiah, because I want to show them about them bones too. Go to Jeremiah chapter 8. I think it's 8. Yes, 8 and verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 1. At that time, says the Lord, they shall bring out the bones
The
of
word, the doctrines.
of the kings of Judah
Uh-huh.
and the bones of his princes
Uh-huh. Followers.
and the bones of the priests
Uh-huh.
and the bones of the prophets
See that?
and
The word, the doctrines.
and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem
Well, now, would you
out
say,
of their graves. Mhm.
who the word gonna dig up all them bones, Tony?
No,
Right. No, what do you say?
You know,
They excavating right now. Digging
Nah,
up all this.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
They lying.
they ain't nothing but a bunch of grave robbers. That's what they are. They stole all our people. So remember, Antiochus, he went up in there. He stole all the jewelry and all that stuff out of the graves of our forefathers. They just make that stuff up, y'all. Listen.
Genesis 2:23, please, sir.
Yeah, hey, verse 2, Elder. Verse
Oh, I'm sorry. See, you see
How
the
you
precepts
good,
flying?
And they shall spread them before the sun.
the understanding, Ecclesiastes 7:11, them doctrines that them prophets had.
And the moon.
See that? The wisdom and knowledge.
And all the host of heaven.
See that? All the hope, the people been elevated.
Right.
Whom they have loved.
Now, them Pharisees, them children of Baal, IUIC.
And whom they have served.
Hello.
And after whom they have walked.
Walked in that doctrine.
And whom they have sought.
Bishop Nathaniel say this. Bishop Nathaniel say that.
And whom they have worshipped.
Oh, that's enough said.
They got that street decorated over there.
Right.
Yeah.
They shall not be gathered, nor be buried.
Meaning the old man ain't gonna die in them.
Right.
You get the kingdom, you got to kill the old man.
They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth.
Carnal understanding.
Now, when the Most High call you excrement, you know you're done. but this is what y'all not getting out of this. Now he's letting you know this is what you're going to do to the host of heaven. Make sure y'all get the thought. At that time, the Lord, at that time saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah. You gonna bring that out.
Yes.
Y'all gonna be bringing the understanding out. Y'all gonna learn the doctrine again. That's what we doing. Y'all see that?
Yes.
And the bones of the princes, all of them other prophets who brought information and gave their understanding for the people of Israel to learn the Most High's doctrine. The bones of the priests, the bones of the prophets. That's what y'all doing. Y'all get that? And y'all gonna do that. Y'all bringing them out of the graves.
Yeah.
That's what y'all doing. All right. You said verse 3, Elder?
Yeah, verse 3.
And death shall be chosen rather than life.
That carnal interpretation that they get.
By all the residue of them that remain of this evil family.
See that?
They're gonna stick with that carnal.
Yes.
Which remain in all the places whither I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts.
See that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Genesis 2:23.
They're not gonna convert.
Can I go to Ezekiel 37?
Yes.
There's also the bones. For the bones.
What verse you want, Elder?
The first one, from top.
Get it.
Ezekiel 31. Excuse me. Ezekiel 37, verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me.
The doctrine of the Lord was upon Ezekiel.
Yes.
And carried me out in the spirit of the Lord.
Not carnal. This man speaking in a spiritual interpretation.
So if he carry, it's a burden. I mean, it's the word.
Yes.
And set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
So the valley's in the earth, right? Like we said earlier, it's a divide in the earth. The earth is carnal. So it's a place of decision.
Place of decision. That's what it is.
That's what's going on.
Yes.
That's what's going on now.
Which is
they
full
don't
of
even
bones.
see it spiritually.
Right.
They don't even see it spiritually, bro. That's going on right now.
Yes.
The tempest is happening right now.
Yeah. We starting to get all these bones. We getting access to all these bones. We learning all these different doctrines.
Right, because a valley's in between two mountains. Mountains are congregations.
Yes.
So you're choosing. So the valleys you choosing between two different congregations.
Yes.
Yes.
The carnal and the spiritual.
Right.
And verse 2.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And caused me to pass by them round about. See that? There we go. Just like he just talked about that trench compassing. See that?
Oh yeah, go past.
See how it all come together?
Mm-hmm.
And behold, there were very many in the open valley. And lo, they were very dry.
There was a lot of people in that carnal understanding, and they had no water.
No water.
Water is the word.
The word.
Right.
And it's also telling you, as many of them in that valley. It's a lot of people getting ready to start making some decisions here.
Oh,
Right.
You're gonna have to choose life or death. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? That's the life again. Y'all
Tree
see
of
that?
life.
Y'all see
Way
that?
of truth to life. Yep, tree of life and way to truth to life.
And I answer, O Lord God, thou knowest.
That's what we say every week. Every time we make a video. Lord, you only know if these people are gonna repent. We gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Again, he said to me, prophesy upon these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord.
So you can't talk to a skeleton. It ain't gonna profit you nothing.
Right.
Now, whenever he started talking about prophesying among those dry bones, he's saying the doctrine gonna come back. Okay,
It's coming back, bro.
that's what's happening whenever we teach. We prophesying on these bones, like we was talking about widows. Widows is a doctrine that everybody done forgot. Okay, these bones dry. These doctrines been around a long time. We just bringing the water to put this water on these bones.
Right.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
If we got time,
So think
I'm
about
gonna
it. You
break
got
down.
you got a spiritual body, huh? I'm saying you got a spiritual body, right? You got bones, right? So then what do you need in your body to survive? Water.
Yeah,
Water.
Blood.
Yeah.
Blood is what?
It's doctrine. It's doctrine.
And water is the word. So you need blood and water to survive. That's what he's talking about. These are bones. He's talking about a spiritual body. It's an allegory.
Yes.
You gotta think about your carnal body that you walk around in, and you compare it to the spiritual. What he's talking about.
Yes.
So what is your bone? Your bone is the deepest part of you. Is your bone. So now if your flesh on top of all that blood and that water, you cover it with the flesh. The flesh is your doctrine.
Right.
That's what he's talking about.
That's what he's talking about. You get clothed with that doctrine.
Right.
You had something else, Elder?
We're going back to Exodus because we got to get up out of this so that they can get the understanding about what this whenever he was saying to go back to the thought about how these people they gonna try to keep telling you lies in order to keep you following their doctrine. Even though their doctrine get corrected, they're gonna continue to give you the same doctrine. Y'all never heard it before, but y'all getting ready to get it now.
Right.
Verse 8, now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, the doctrine of Joseph. Right.
Yes. Now, when you're talking carnal, yes, but you have to go spiritual. You say, stay in Jerusalem, elevated level. This king knew carnal. Acts 7:39, that's the bondage what he want these people in. You don't have to go there, Elder. Acts chapter 7, verse 9. That's what he's talking about.
Verse 9, and he said unto his people, behold, the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Now, somebody mightier than you, how you gonna overtake them?
Right. Correct.
I mean, carnally, you ain't gonna be able to beat them up.
Right.
Nope.
We've told this story before, but it's talking about Joseph and all of his brethren converted all them Egyptians and all of them Canaanites that Israel brought into Egypt with him. Okay. If you go to I want to say it's Genesis 49:1, it'll tell you that Jacob brought all them herds and cattle in there with him. And then whenever you start reading that story about Joseph giving them people corn and all that other stuff, and they giving him their lands and all that other stuff, and they cattle. So he's converting all of the people of Egypt into the doctrine of Israel. And you
Yeah.
see right there what this thing said. He said, behold, the people of the children of Israel. He calling all of them Canaanites
All
and them
of them.
Egyptians
Yeah.
children of
Everybody.
Israel.
Yes.
All of them. That's what
All
he's
of 'em.
saying.
Yeah.
They had more people following that doctrine
Yes.
than was following the new doctrine of the guy who didn't know
Yeah.
Joseph's doctrine.
Yeah.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
All right. So he says, come on, let us deal wisely with them.
Uh-huh.
Let us tell them, you know, I can show you slavery in the Bible.
Mhm.
Y'all see that? That's what he's talking about. This is
Yes.
all a similitude.
Yes.
He's telling you how they got you to get off the righteous train and jump on the wicked train.
Right.
That's what this is, a prophecy of that. This is what happened when them people saw y'all out there on the street and started converting you to their doctrine. That's the story of this.
Yes.
It said, lest they multiply and it come to pass
That's what's happening.
that when there falleth out any war, because they're at war now.
They can't
Everybody
debate.
against them. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They can't debate right now. They're at war.
They join also unto our enemies
Uh-huh.
and fight against us.
See, the Christians, if they join up with us,
Yes.
you see what I'm saying? All
That's
the
why they
other-
blitzed them.
Yes.
That's why they blitzed them. Y'all
That's
see
the-
that?
Yes.
He
They
telling
blinded
you.
them.
He
They
telling
blinded
you
them
what
for a
just
little
happened.
while.
Yes. And so get them up out of the land.
See that?
That doctrine that they was following before.
Yes.
Convert them to our doctrine.
Yes.
Y'all see that? Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
Captains.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Deacons.
Well,
Yes.
you build a whole school for free,
Yes. That's right.
renovate a whole school for free,
Yes.
give your money to Jesus.
Yes. The money with Jesus, baby. The money with Jesus.
Action, sister, brother, the arms was for the body. Once you released it, that's it. You gave it to Jesus. You gave it to the Lord.
To afflict them with their burdens.
See that?
That's their doctrine.
Their
Burden is
doctrine.
doctrine. Malachi 1:1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the only thing God gave you, he wanted you to do.
Mhm.
You can do all them other things, become a rocket scientist, a doctor, attorney, a lawyer. He gave you one talent to do.
Mhm.
You buried in that earth. How did the gold become?
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. I remember they made a documentary out of it.
Yeah.
When they took that piece of God-forsaken building that they got up there in New York, and they went through there and they showed you how they turned it from a basement into a sanctuary.
Right.
They spent
Like
all that time, the same
Like
thing
Atlanta,
they did in
yep.
Atlanta. They got up in there.
Wow.
I'll never forget, I was in that place, and that it was a guy in there. He was either Pakistani or Indian or something like that. He owned the building, and that man came in there to see the improvements that they was doing in that building. That man only had one bathroom in that big old building. One of them guys up in there, he went and he tapped into the sewer line of all of that one toilet, and that man made like 5 or 6 doggone stalls. The man went from a 1-stall bathroom to like a 6-stall bathroom.
Mhm.
They went and put all of that work into building that treasured city. A city is a church. Y'all know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they built up that church. He telling you what happened to the people over here in Atlanta and all the other places where they renting. They ain't even bought the property, but they made it look real nice. They got this one boy, I forget the guy's name. The guy, he had trouble reading, and Deacon Malachi cussed the man out in front of the whole church because he couldn't read. He couldn't read strongly, right? And come to pass, after they start making the building, they come to find out this boy is a graphic artist.
He's an artist.
And that man made murals inside that doggone place.
Yeah.
I'm talking about look like frescoes or like, you know, like you go up to Sistine Chapel and all that stuff. That boy had that kind of talent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brother's very talented.
He went up in there and painted that place up, man. That place, it's just remarkable to see how the walls are in there.
Right.
That's the treasured cities that they build. And y'all don't know what this stuff talking about. The Most High showing you. If you know it, you'll see it and you'll be like, oh my God, that's talking about us. Y'all are in captivity and don't even know it.
Well, we're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring it out. We're gonna bring it out. Because we're gonna break down something. Go ahead, Elder. You still dealing with it? Yeah.
Pharaoh treasured cities. Pithom, Atlanta, and Ramses, New York.
Right.
Come on, y'all. Come on, man. I know y'all see
Egypt. House of Fun.
That's right. They in Egypt. That's right. That's what he telling y'all. Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Yes.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. That's them righteous people. Them the people that ended up rolling up out of there.
Yep.
They was grieved by us.
Right. Hit them with
we sitting up in there. Exactly. We multiplying. Them people sitting up in there looking at, well, maybe we should be trying to help our brother. Nah, y'all need to be dependent on us. Y'all don't need to be dependent. Hey, Sam, didn't you say you cut up some wood down there? Yeah, we'll take that wood, and then we could take that wood and we could sell it for ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, he the righteous man giving the wood, but these wicked taskmasters, they gonna take the wood and they gonna make money off the wood. Y'all see what's going on? I know y'all see that. You see what I'm saying? And the Egyptian made the children of Israel serve with rigor.
Out there on that street in that sun.
Yes. Getting fundraisers.
Risk of getting shot.
Rest of their kids out there, risk of getting ran over, selling that water and Gatorade. Yeah. That was donated.
For all this money going to. I'm like, for real. Because think about it. When you had to buy the cruise, right? Everybody had to pay for a ticket. So you paid your way. So where happened to the rest of the money?
Yes.
Y'all not asking this question. What happened to the rest of the money?
It went in their pocket.
Especially if God said you had to learn it for free.
It went in their pocket. That's where it went. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. That's what's happening to them now. You ain't got no Saturday no more. You work for him on Saturday. And if we blitz on Sunday, you work for me the whole weekend. Then you can go out there and work your regular job the rest of the week. But we're going to be back here next Sabbath to get up in here and get you work for me again. And we might extend the blitz for a little while. So you can keep working every day for the next 3 or 4 or 5 or a month or whatever.
Give me that. Make sure you give me that $100 a month for this black t-shirt. I honor to have this black t-shirt.
That's right. That's right. And they made their lives bitter and hard bondage. In mortar.
Stop. Now that mortar, every time they wall been breached, they tell a lie to cover it up.
That's right. That's that untempered mortar.
That's the untempered mortar what Ezekiel was talking about.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. They come back and tell another lie to cover that. That ain't had no more lies.
Lies upon lies.
Verse 5. When that fire kindle, it goes on and they go on and that's all out of control.
Right. And in brick.
See that?
And in all manner of service in the field.
In that carnal thumbnails,
field is the world.
Videos,
field is the world.
Music that you probably paid all that music to produce and record, and they sell it and get all the money. Or a major percentage of the money. I want to say. I can't speak on.
They slaves now.
Slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they slaves. He told them your mama is your enemy.
Yeah.
Right.
That was Amazon said.
Changed it on you twice. No, because he came back and said, well, I don't want you to get rid of those who actually like you. You can, you can still stay around them. But then later on in the video, he came back and said, cut them off.
Yeah, cut them off.
He doubled
like. You see that? They want those slaves, but they about to walk out of there.
Hey, Elder, let me back up what you're saying. Can we go to Acts 7, please? Acts 7, verse 17. Because the apostles were talking about this very thing, and they abbreviated.
I don't remember what I saw something.
I know, probably. I know you got it all the time. So you got it all the time. Here we go.
Yeah, bro.
Acts chapter 7, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
But when the time of promise drew nigh,
The promise is the word.
Which God had shown to Abraham,
That's sworn to Abraham.
the people grew and multiplied in Egypt.
So now the children of Israel, those who had the spiritual understanding, multiplied in that carnal. So they started going against the Egyptians.
Mm.
Okay.
Till another king arose, which knew not Joseph.
Okay. So this guy did not know the spiritual law. What did he do? 19.
The same dealt subtly with our kindred.
With our doctrine. He was being wicked with our doctrine. He was mixing it.
Mm.
Like
Like
he'll
they
read the
doing
Bible
now.
and put an AI picture up on the wall and say
That's
this what
right.
this means. He's
Oh,
mixing.
wow.
And evil entreated our fathers.
So he didn't really break down like yesterday with talking about King David, the loins of David. So we showed you what the loins were. The loins is your actually your brain. So he's telling you lies which entreated the forefather David or the doctrine of David. So now he's lying on the doctrine of David.
Mm.
So that they cast out their young children.
The young followers will start trying to follow them, and that bull dung they got.
To the end they might not live.
To the end, they might not live past that doctrine that they have. They stay
Right.
be stuck in that doctrine.
They're not going to have Christ's doctrine. That's the
Right.
life.
Yes.
Going on?
Yep.
In which time Moses was born and was exceeding fair and nourished up in his father's house 3 months.
How many months?
3.
So he was starting to get what? He's starting to see the truth.
See,
He about to go to the 4th
Standard.
day.
He's about to go to the 4th day, right? He's starting to rightfully divide into the 3.
And when he was cast out.
When he was what?
Cast out.
Cast out of what?
The carnal.
You see what I'm saying? So he was in that carnal camp and he was cast out.
Pharaoh's daughter took him up.
Who's
And-
his Pharaoh's daughter? His doctrine took him up to where? Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
So he,
and nourished him for her own.
Wow.
So we learned it's a little bit more complicated, but what it's saying, he was cast out. So he had gotten the basic understanding, but then he went under Pharaoh's doctrine, right? That's what happened to us, right? We had basic understanding and we was righteous. No, we didn't know the Most High's doctrine, but he had took the doctrine away. But we had basic understanding of right and wrong. All right. And then we ended up with Pharaoh's daughter. That's that man's church. Okay. And he took us up into the upper understanding of his doctrine. So some of us rose up to officers, some of us was just soldiers, but we understood the doctrine enough to be able to teach it. Y'all see that? He's giving you a similitude of what happened to most of those people. Right? And it said, nourish him for her own son. So that means
food.
Yeah.
So nourishment is food. Yeah, it's food.
Right.
So,
right. We learned the doctrine. We learned his doctrine. That's what it's talking about. That's what happened to everybody who ever went over to the IUIC or any of these other camps. They left their doctrine where they were, he said they didn't make it to the 4th day, so they didn't understand the spiritual doctrine. All right. But after you had basic understanding to be a righteous person, they came and they put their wicked doctrine in you. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Verse 22. And Moses learned all the wisdom of the Egyptians.
just right there. He just laid it out there. He knew their doctrine through and through. That precept packet, all that stuff, all where they're gonna go. He knew what it was.
And was mighty in words and deeds. Just
So
like
he
they
knew.
showed that video of Officer Yohanan. He was mighty in that doctrine. Y'all see that? That's an example. They help you get the similitude because they put the video up there showing him as a mighty man in that doctrine. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
All praise the Most High.
You going?
Now,
Okay, you
hold
still
on.
going?
yeah, something else.
Yeah. I'm
Go
going
ahead,
to
Al.
24. To 25.
And when he was 40 years old.
So what can he do now?
He can teach.
He can rightly divide.
He rightly divide.
He stopped pulling two
got
precepts.
the light.
Uh-huh.
He converted.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that? 40 years.
Yes.
All right.
40 years. Okay.
Four, yeah.
4.
And it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel.
It came into his mind.
It's mine.
Mine.
Who the
Follow
children
that
of
doctrine.
Israel? Who the children of Israel?
The one who converts.
Yes. To what? Convert to what?
To the
Spiritual
The
doctrine.
doctrine.
Spiritual doctrine. That's right.
Spiritual
He
doctrine.
converted to the spiritual doctrine.
Spiritual
He
doctrine.
telling y'all, but y'all just don't know. A lot of people can't see it. It's a metaphor.
Right.
Okay. All right. Verse 24. And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him.
So he saw somebody teaching
Mhm.
or seen somebody out there on the street and somebody called him a fool. And the foolish old man, he did what?
Defended him.
Defend.
All right.
And avenged him that was oppressed.
Didn't God said vengeance is his?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
came with his two or three precepts and destroyed that oppressive doctrine.
And smote the Egyptian.
And taught the Egyptians.
Y'all
Smote
see
that
that?
doctrine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Verse 5. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that God by his hand
Doctrine.
would deliver them,
Mm-hmm.
but they understood not.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah. They
So that's what
rejected
he's
it.
talking about.
They
They're rejecting
rejected
the doctrine. Yes.
Yeah. So
You
we're
wanna go
going
on?
back to 14.
Hmm?
We're going back to Exodus 1:14. Or?
Go.
You want-
Hey, are you going back there, Elder? I just
No,
want
I'm
to
good.
bring up precept to back that up. Psalm 48 and 5.
Mhm.
I was trying to think of one. Because one I'll see what we saying specifically. He see it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
He see the benefits in it, but they're telling him to shut up. I was
Right.
trying to look for that verse. I read it yesterday.
Psalm 48 and 5. They saw it, and so they marveled.
See that?
They were troubled and hasted away.
They see this benefit to it. I was trying to. They see the understanding.
Is that
Yeah.
one in New Testament, the one that said they saw him, but they were scared to get thrown out the synagogue?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of those guys over there in that camp as this stuff is coming out. Because you see, we ended that video that we just did where he was telling them if somebody come in with a new doctrine, throw them out.
Oh, wow.
He's telling them camp leaders, throw them out
Go to
because
Matthew 9 and 8.
those people are starting to see the doctrine. He knows because they're asking specific questions. Okay.
Mhm.
He's saying if they come up and they're asking them questions that those spiritual prophets is bringing out, I want them out of here lest they spread that doctrine in here, just like what happened in Egypt. That's the exact same thing that's happened in the scriptures that they talking about. All right. Matthew chapter 9 verse 8. But when the multitude saw it, they marveled and glorified God, which had given such power unto men.
That is, those the Gentiles follow in Christ right now.
Mhm.
Go to Matthew 26 and 8.
Mhm.
It's coming.
Matthew 26 and 8. But when the disciples saw it, understood it,
See that?
they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste?
See that?
Y'all see that? Now they're talking about Mary Magdalene when she was putting that oil on him. That means he was teaching that doctrine, okay? It wasn't a real woman. He was teaching that doctrine, all right? And they didn't like the doctrine. That's what you got going on now. You got people hearing this thing and they don't know how to deal with it. It's saying something, but they it's hard for somebody who's been learning something for a long time to change.
Yes.
Real hard.
Yes.
That's what they face with now, because they can't deny it because the precept lining up. If
Hold
we
on,
were
Luke
saying what
18
we
and
were
3.
saying,
Hey, hold on.
saying what we were saying without any proof, it'd be easy for them to just go ahead and tell us to go pound sand. But we bringing them precepts. That's the problem they got. Luke, what, Elder?
Let's see, 18 and 43. This is what y'all see right here.
Luke 18:43. And immediately he received his sight.
What y'all seeing now?
And followed him, glorifying God, and all the people, when they saw it, gave praise unto God.
That's your king.
Yeah.
Right.
That's your king. Y'all see.
Yeah. A lot of people seeing it now.
John 16:1-2. This is what you guys got to understand, that you guys sitting in those camps and in your mind, you're going back and forth, right? Because he just put out a video saying if anybody asks these questions, you captains better throw them out. What Christ said to do.
John 16:1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended.
So he said things are written inside this Bible is written for what? Our learning. So he told you, I'm gonna tell you this right now, so you don't get offended.
When you see it in your day,
right?
They shall put you out of the synagogue.
When brothers or sisters rile up in here with some doctrine, believe it, some of them are getting paid to do that. Throw them out. Do not give them opportunity to spread no nonsense. Throw them out immediately and don't shed a tear. I hope everybody understand that, because I ain't gonna shed a tear. Go, nigga, go.
That's what he just threatened.
Right.
The time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service.
So the guy that killed you, that converted you, thought he was doing God's service. He think that he out there doing it for God, but he not. You're doing it for Nathaniel.
That's right. That's right.
Verse 3.
And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. They ain't got the
They
spiritual
have a lot of
doctrine.
people walking dead.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Go to
Now,
Jeremiah 7.
Let's
7
read.
and 1.
Let's read this last thing here.
Okay.
But these things have I told you, and when the time shall come, ye shall remember that I told you of them. Y'all able to see it now because y'all got spiritual eyes now. Everything they doing is like it's like Christ talking.
Yes.
Whenever you see it, it's being confirmed, it's manifested. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you.
And the thing he told you at the beginning was love
one another.
Yes.
Neighbor.
That's what he said.
So now if they telling you something other than that, they telling you to hate thy brother.
Yes.
That's what he telling you.
Right.
And
He's
the other
telling.
thing,
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
And the other thing that they're doing, it's to try to make everybody see them as gods, as idols. But the thing is that what you can read in Leviticus 26:1 is that there's you shall make you no idols nor graven images.
Yes.
Neither rear you up standing image, neither shall you set up any image or stone in your land to bow down unto it. For I am Lord your God. So there's no other God, there's no other word, there's no other nothing but Lord's word. Not Nathaniel's, not the bishops, not the officers, no ones.
Right, not the Pope, not the nobody.
Not your pastor.
Right.
Or the priest.
Right. They have to follow. Where you going to next, Elder Samuel?
Go back.
Thank you, Prophetess, for bringing that thing out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Verse 3. Go back to verse 3, then we'll go on.
Verse 3. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me.
Mm-hmm. Go to 2. I'm sorry. Go back to 2 because that's very important. Verse 2. I'm sorry.
Verse 2. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service.
You will think that he doeth God's service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to Jeremiah chapter 7. Now we're gonna jump, Elder, and y'all. I want y'all to read this verse. Whenever y'all make a note and read it, because I read it. Chapter 7, and verse 1.
The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, stand in the gate of the Lord's house.
The Lord's house.
Gate's a prophet.
Right.
That's right. He's an elder.
He talking about this elder. And proclaim there this word. And say, hear the word of the Lord.
Now his word is high. It's not carnal.
Right.
He takes the highway.
Yes, high speech. All ye of Judah that enter in at these gates to worship the Lord.
Read. Let's get to it.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, amend your ways and your doings.
He wants you to take the highway.
Change. Yeah. He said change. Amend means change.
Yes, yeah.
And I will cause you to dwell in this place.
Read.
That's the spiritual doctrine.
Yes.
Jerusalem.
Yes. Trust ye not in lying words.
Don't trust them lying words, the carnal interpretation. Don't trust that milk. Read.
Saying, the temple of the Lord. Yeah, they calling themselves the truth. But they not. Don't trust them.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
Yes.
Wow.
The temple of the Lord. The temple of the Lord are these.
See that?
They not the temple.
They not the temple.
They ain't got. They don't have the understanding. For if ye
I want to speed up. Drop down to 8. But I want y'all to read it because I read it.
Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit.
That carnal understanding is trash. We're going to prove it. Read.
Will ye steal?
Haven't they?
Murder?
They hate their own mama. Say your mama your enemy.
Right.
Commit adultery?
Mixing other books.
Yes.
And he do it carnally.
Yes.
Carnally.
And swear falsely.
Oh my God! I don't talk to men so
he
many
teaching lies. He teaching lies.
They lying. Why you always lying?
And burn incense unto Baal.
Jezebel children.
Yes. And walk after other gods whom ye know not. Nathaniel. And come and stand before me in this house. Spiritual doctrine.
Spiritual doctrine.
Which is called by my name.
Read that. Now, this is what they're saying. Read.
And say, we are delivered to do all these. We are delivered to do all these abominations.
Yes, because they think that's a holy temple. You see that? They think that's a holy temple over there.
Right. They think that he's saying, they asking, why are we hating our brother? Why are we doing all these things? That's what they saying. That's right. Them people questioning their leadership. They questioning their leadership.
Yes.
Verse 11. In this house, which is called by my name, Is this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers
Go
in
to
your
Isaiah
eyes?
48. Go to, because it mentioned Judah, didn't it?
Mhm.
Right.
Go to Isaiah 48. Now they calling themselves Israel, but they robbers.
Right. Rob.
They say we Israel, but y'all come a den of robbers. Go to Isaiah 48. Let's see what God say. Because they calling themselves Israel. Okay. Let's see what God say. Den of robbers in your eyes. Let's see what God say. Judah.
Isaiah 48:1. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel.
You saying your name Israel, but he's calling you still Jacob. Really?
Right.
And are come forth out of the waters of Judah,
That doctrine.
which swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the God of Israel,
The Most High.
but not in truth nor
Not
in
in
righteousness. Mhm.
See that? Verse 2.
For they call themselves of the holy city.
Or they
Yeah.
call themselves.
Themselves.
They didn't say God
Themselves.
called them. They said they called themselves.
Themselves.
And stay themselves upon the God of Israel. The Lord of hosts is his name.
The Lord of hosts got this doctrine. Read.
I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth.
My doctrine.
And I showed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass.
Now, keep that right there, Elder. Now, go to Revelation chapter 16. I want to break down something that's going to be very easy, and y'all going to get it very easy. So when somebody come and debate you, it's going to be not right now. But remember what we just read. I'm sorry, Elder.
Can I put before you go to Revelation, go to Jeremiah, same Jeremiah 14, 13 and 14.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah 13?
14.
You said 13 and 14?
13 and 14 verse.
Then said I,
13:14 or 14:13?
14:13.
Then said I, Lord God, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye see famine.
See that?
But I will give you assured peace in this place. Their doctrine.
Their doctrine.
Yes. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them.
I can vouch for that.
They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination.
All right, stop. False vision. Let me give you an example of a false vision. The Bible says they prophesy. It's a book of prophecy. So prophecy means things to come. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why do they always show you history?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the greatest lie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's saying it's a history book when it's a book of prophecy. That's a false vision.
Yes.
And a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart.
The mind.
Yes.
I like that, Elder. Hey,
Yeah.
stay in Jeremiah still with that, Elder.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go to Jeremiah 3:15.
Okay.
3:15.
All praises.
We study this book. We eat this book. We know the carnal. We know the spiritual. We eat this book. Now, this one of their favorite scriptures, okay?
Right.
All right.
Jeremiah
So, it's a little reading, so Elder King Johanna might have to help you out, Elder. It's a little
Yeah.
reading.
I might need you to take over them sticks there, Elder.
Hey, go. I'm sorry. Go, jump up to 3 and 7. Remember, I said somebody see it over there. Okay.
7, you said?
Let's see here. Let me see here. That's not the one right there, but start at 7. This not the one that I wanted, but it's specifically, he said one person over there gonna see it. But go ahead and misunderstand it. They're gonna see it. But read that, Elder.
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 7. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it.
A doctrine. The person that in Judah doctrine, they saw it. Read.
And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not.
Read on.
But went and played the harlot also.
But y'all know what he playing the harlot, that carnal understanding and everything.
And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land. The doctrine, and committed adultery with stones. Other doctrines.
Stones of the and with stocks.
And with stock. That's other pastors. That's other pastors. Verse 10. And yet for all her treacherous sister, Judah, hath not turned unto me with her whole heart.
Because he searches out the heart.
But vainly, meaning they faking the funk.
Yes.
Says the Lord. And the Lord said unto me, the backsliding Israel hath justified herself more than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord. And
now these also spiritual interpretation people. I get it. See? I mean, the ones who supposed to be looking at it spiritually. These are people that spiritually they can see things, but they keep going backsliding.
Right. You got to remember the setup here. Israel was righteous, but then they got out of righteousness. They followed into that carnal. But we came out. Israel done came out. Judah ain't came out yet. Judah's still over there in Egypt, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Israel done came out.
Okay. The spiritual interpretation people still fighting it.
Yes.
Right.
Go and proclaim these words toward the north and say, return thou backsliding Israel.
Now we know about the northern kingdom, southern kingdom, but that ain't what it's talking about.
No.
We know about that.
And I will not cause my anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever.
Drop down to 15, I'm going to speed it up.
Verse 15.
Let's start 14.
Verse 14. Yeah. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you.
That's all right. See, I'm married to you.
Right.
Okay, read.
Wow.
And I will take one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
The spiritual interpretation.
Spiritual Israel, yeah.
And I will give you pastors according to mine heart.
Go to Isaiah 55 and 8. He said according to his heart, right?
Right.
All right.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
So you got to figure out what his thoughts are. Because that's where his heart is, his mind. Read.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Verse 9.
Saith the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth.
See that? His ways are higher. He take the highway.
Mm-hmm.
He don't
So-
dwell in the carnal understanding.
Right.
So are my ways higher than your way,
Highway,
and your thoughts and my thoughts than your thoughts?
go back to where we were. Jeremiah 3 and 15. Pay, and I know y'all will, but for the people that's watching online, pay close attention.
Jeremiah.
Huh?
When you finish.
Yeah, go ahead and read that, El.
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to my heart,
Here's mine, the highway.
which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
We're coming right back here, possibly. I'm not sure, but let's find out what knowledge is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go to Isaiah chapter 28 and verse, was it 9? We'll find it. We'll see what knowledge is. 28 and verse 7. Start at 7.
Oh, wow.
Let's see
Isaiah
what
20.
knowledge is, according to what God say what knowledge is.
Isaiah 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine
Wine, Micah 2, verse 11.
and through strong drink, are out of the way.
They're not taking the highway.
And the priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink.
They drunk now.
They are swallowed up of wine.
They drunk off that doctrine.
Doctrine.
Micah, what I just say?
Micah 2 and 8, I think.
2 and 7.
2 and 7, yeah. They
Yeah,
are.
2 and
Oh,
7.
check the
No,
precepts
I'm
at the
sorry,
bottom.
3:11. Micah
we got-
3:11.
I got it. We got the precepts at the bottom. They
Okay.
are out of the way through strong drink.
They're not taking the highway no more.
Mm-hmm.
They err in vision.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
They stumble in judgment. Stumbling
Teaching.
block. A block is a stone. So he says stumbling block. That's what they are. Stumbling
Yes.
blocks.
They're not teaching correctly now.
Right.
Read.
Mm-hmm.
For all the tables
Oh.
are full of vomit and filthiness.
It's the file, what they teaching.
Vomit come out your mouth. Whom shall teach knowledge?
Stop. Go
Mm.
back to Jeremiah chapter, we're coming right back. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 15.
And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall
My
feed
mind.
you, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
The knowledge and understanding. So we'll go back to where we were. With, Isaiah 28 verse 9.
Whom shall teach knowledge?
See that?
Yes.
And whom shall make he, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Wait a minute. It's a doctrine.
Right.
Who gonna understand this knowledge and this doctrine? Read.
Them that are weaned from the milk.
Meaning, if you still in milk, you don't have the knowledge.
Right. And drawn from the breast.
See that?
Means you're not a baby no more.
You don't have any knowledge if you stuck in milk.
Right.
Mm.
Okay, hold that, elder. Go to Hosea 4 and 6. I'm gonna show you something. These are precepts to break down if somebody come to you with that garbage. You got to get knowledge. You got to get out the milk to get the knowledge. You are dumb if you still stuck in milk. Go to Hosea 4 and 6.
Hosea chapter 4. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
You keep rejecting this spiritual interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge,
I reject you.
I will also reject thee. Didn't he say after the second admonition, reject? So after the second, yeah. You came with two precepts and this dude rejected. He said, so God gonna reject you.
Oh.
He gonna reject you if you still in milk.
That thou shalt be no priest to me. seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, having two precepts, I will also forget thy children, those followers.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Oh, next line, this next one. 47.
Yeah.
As they were increased, because you see their numbers on their YouTube and on their Facebook, their numbers increase.
Yes.
So they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame.
That's what's about to happen.
That's what's happening.
That's happening right now.
Yeah.
They're in trouble right now.
You see that?
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. Them
They rejected the knowledge.
it's some of them people up in there shame to be
Yeah, bro.
associated with them. Cause some of them guys up in them, they're not even thugs. But they portraying themselves to be thugs just to fit along with that foolish doctrine over there.
Read that for me, Elder.
That's heaven.
Nevertheless.
Can we go to
John, hold on, give me 1 second. John 12:42. This is what it is right now.
John 12:42. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, right? Also many believed on him.
Many see this doctrine and they believe the doctrine of Christ. They know what we're saying. They see the spiritual interpretation.
But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him.
Because he's not teaching that. He's teaching carnal. So therefore they're scared of him. Read.
Lest they should be put out of the synagogue.
They see him because they want to get put out of the synagogue if they come and ask them questions. That's why he said, if anybody come, throw them out. They come with a new doctrine, throw them out. Instead of answer the question, throw them out.
Verse 43. For they love the praise of men more than the praise of God.
So they love being officer such and such. They love being captain such and such. They love being deacon such and such more than loving God.
Yes.
That's the same thing that happened to Nicodemus. He was trying to be undercover. He was trying to. That's what he said. I was
just thinking about him, bro.
Because he said you can't have two masters. You're gonna love the one and hate the other.
Hate the other. Yeah.
But you say, sis?
Elder, but they're not only not loving God, they're hating their brother because they're spreading hate.
Right.
So that's worst.
That's why he said that.
Against him.
That's why he said you're gonna love the one and hate the other.
Right.
Because if you have any association with that kind of foolishness, you hate God. Most I say he ain't gonna have no other God before him, beside him, nothing. He said you're gonna either like what I say, you're gonna do what I say, or you following a different God. So that means you hate me. That's what he said. You either for God or you against him. That's the way he look at it. So whenever they get up in there and they start following what those men, in order to stay, some of them have, certain value. They got position over there and they don't want to give that stuff up. So they're choosing their God. By choosing their God, they hate the true God. Because he said that's one of his commandments. You can't have no God before me. That's what he said. So
I'm a jealous God.
Right. Exactly. So
shall we go to sorry.
No, you go. Where you want to go? Where you want to go, Elder?
Okay.
No.
Yesaya. Yesaya.
Hosea?
No. Isaiah.
Oh, Isaiah.
Okay.
Isaiah.
Gotcha. You're fine. We're multifaceted here. We'll figure it out.
5:13.
Yes. We don't speak as many languages as you do, so
right.
Please pardon our American accent.
Right, our country American accent at that.
Yes. Oh, praise.
Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
He brought this last night. Ooh, he brought this last night, and he messed it up too. But go ahead.
Because they have no knowledge.
See there? He said that the people, now he was saying that the people in captivity, he talking about people going into slavery. All right.
I thought you.
That's what he taught last night.
Wow.
He
No,
talking about
sorry.
captivity. He talking about is like slavery
Yeah.
under the white folks, okay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because and they have no knowledge, right?
Right.
But the Most High here, he talking about the knowledge. He and they captive under them churches. He don't realize he's the one that got the people
People
in captivity.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
It's funny how the Most High made you pull this.
Yeah.
Read that. Keep reading.
I'm reading from the top. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
They gone into captivity under these carnal pastors like him.
Egypt, gone into
Right.
Egypt.
Yes.
Yes.
Read.
Because they have no knowledge.
Those men who are teaching them have no knowledge. He about to say it right here.
Dumb.
And their honorable men are famished.
He's telling you, he's considered an honorable man. They think that man has knowledge, but he's
Yes.
famished. He's in a famine.
Yes.
They ain't got no understanding. They have no understanding of the spiritual doctrine. So
They
he's
don't.
famished. Right? Read.
He's a
And
chump.
their multitude dried up with thirst.
All them people in that church don't have any understanding because water is the word. They don't have any understanding. Go to that next verse because he pulled this one too.
Wow.
So he could tell you what hell was.
Right. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
Now he said hell means that you in captivity under these white folks. That's what he told them, right?
Yeah.
But hell is below.
Hey,
Right.
Heaven is above. They can't see it.
Hey,
Wow.
he the one cracking that whip turn.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
right.
They
And people
so
don't
silly.
see it. They don't see it, man.
They
It's
don't
so crazy, man. Because he was saying ups and up down. I said, man, that man don't know what hell means. Hell is talking about that carnal doctrine. That's what it's talking about.
Yes.
And he can't even see it. And that's what he's telling those people lies, man.
But they're the slave masters then.
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct.
They're the similitude of Pharaoh, the Egyptians.
Yes.
They don't
Yes.
even see it.
You don't even
Wow.
know it, man.
Read about it, 1 Samuel chapter 8. Me and Stephen, and we made a video of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got
Read
it.
about 1 Samuel chapter 8.
2 Samuel 22 and 4. I will call on the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies.
So the enemies of God are our enemies as well.
When you call on the Lord, that means you preaching the spiritual doctrine. That's calling on the Lord, all right?
Yeah.
You go on and taking whatever you know before the priest to get it scrutinized. Like David used to call on the Lord. He'd go and make sure that his doctrine was right spiritually. That's what it's talking about. When the waves of death compass me, the carnal doctrine.
Yeah, the waves is water. So that water of death, that carnal, Romans 8, 6, and 7.
Yes.
And past him, surrounded him.
The floods of the ungodly men made me afraid.
So that water of the ungodly men made him afraid. Made he was scared to teach.
The sorrows of hell compass me about.
So that word they're talking about was what circled. That was the hell to him.
That was the waves.
Yeah, the waves of the man. The waves of death was the hell.
Yes.
The snares of death prevented me. It's called in hell the snares of death.
Right.
In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried to my God, and he did hear my voice out of his temple. How you cry on the Lord? What you got to have in order to cry on the Lord?
Precepts.
That's right. How many?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
That's right. And you got them 2 or 3 precepts. You got the sword. And everybody gonna flee from that sword, trust me. And my cry did enter into his ears.
That's what the hell. The hell was that doctrine you were talking about. Now we go back here.
That's how you overcome hell.
Wow.
You read that?
Wow.
Go ahead, Elder.
Isaiah 5:14. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
With that carnal doctrine that they teach.
Yes.
Them people done got very, very popular
Oh, yeah.
with that carnal doctrine.
Yeah.
It's about
Y'all
to
see
flip,
that?
though. It's about to flip.
Yeah.
About to flip.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's about to switch.
Yep.
Read on.
And open her mouth without measure.
You notice he keeps saying her.
Her.
Because it's a doctrine he talking about.
Yeah.
That's letting you know straight up. It's a female
It's a
adjective that they use.
Right.
He telling you.
That mouth,
Hell is that spirit, that carnal doctrine. That's what he
mouth
telling you.
is the doctrine. That mouth is
Yes.
doctrine.
That's
Her
right.
doctrine.
Yes. That's right. Read.
And their glory
Their understanding, their wisdom.
and their multitude
That's the people following it.
Their followers.
and their pomp
That's them people sitting up there crying for Tammuz and
Yeah.
sitting up and down in them chat,
Oh, yeah.
in that chat. Fire.
They
Oh,
all
the bishop
pumped
is
up.
so deep. Bring it out, bishop. All of
They
that
all
pump.
pumped up.
Yeah, all of
Foolishness.
that fooling. All of them horses they riding and all that stuff. Read on.
and he that rejoiceth
Mm-hmm.
in that doctrine
Mm-hmm.
shall descend into it.
They in
Oh.
hell because they
They make it
following
so.
that doctrine.
They think it's
Oh.
That's what they all in hell. They can't
Yeah.
get heaven
yes.
because they following the wrong doctrine. They got to rise up. They
Mhm.
got to speak the high speech. They got to get
Yes.
on the highway.
The
Yes.
highway.
Y'all see that?
The
They ain't
highway.
doing that. That man in a low level dirt road.
Wow.
We going down the highway.
Wow.
Y'all might need a Lamborghini or a Ferrari to ride this out. Y'all got to get out of that jalopy.